It was an extraordinary speech today by the U.S. Secretary of State. Methodically and emotionally, John Kerry laid out the case for military action in Syria. He left little doubt the U.S. will strike, even without the support of one of its biggest allies, Britain. Kerry called the evidence of a chemical attack overwhelming, saying more than 1,400 Syrians were killed in that attack last week, at least 426 of them children. We have extensive coverage on this story tonight, and we start in the Middle East. Nala Ayed is in Beirut. Nala?
Diana, limited and narrow. Key words to describe how the U.S. might strike in Syria. But what will be the response?
Don't look for this to end anytime soon. Syria's regime is and will be pressing ahead to drive rebels out of the suburbs of Damascus.
Allahu Akbar.
Rebels say it's what compelled regime forces into pummeling its population, even resorting to a poison gas attack. And it is now what compels some Syrians to yearn for a foreign intervention. We pray for an American attack and that Obama acts on his words, he says. I support a military attack with all my heart. And Barack Obama, even without Britain's help, looks set to deliver, once again stressing those key words.
We are looking at the possibility of a limited, narrow act.
Washington points to the reams of video like this and its own, quote, overwhelming intelligence as proof the Syrian regime was behind a chemical weapons attack last week. A 4-page unclassified report, apparently based on thousands of sources, lays out some of the evidence. The U.S. Secretary of State outlined the rationale.
We know where the rockets were launched from and at what time. We know where they landed and when. We know rockets came only from regime-controlled areas and went only to opposition-controlled or contested neighborhoods.
As it has from the start, Syria responded by denying the allegations. Foreign Minister Walid Muallim called them lies to justify potential aggression.
As the rhetoric intensifies, so does the anxiety, not just here in Lebanon, but across the region. The question is this: if Syria is attacked, will it retaliate? And if it does, will that unleash a chain reaction that will be impossible to control?
Such concerns loom large in the Habbas household, where home is Beirut and Vancouver, where the girls were born. For 12-year-old Sarah Habbas, there's no contest. She wants to return to Canada.
I'm not really used to watching the news, but it's like I really want to know what's happening now because I'm kind of scared sometimes.
It's actually quite confusing because you hear there's an imminent attack and then you see the Western countries are backing off right now. So it's really hard to tell what to do.
And it's hard to predict when to do it. Obama says he hasn't made any final decisions, but there are American warships just a short distance from here, and given an order, they could act immediately.